Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you, and today I want to talk to you about the maximum length that you should use oral steroids. But before we get into that, just a big shout out and thank you to everybody out there supporting the channel. If you haven't yet, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Any interaction with the channel, it's helping the channel to grow and it's allowing me to produce more and more content for you each and every day. Also, today's video is sponsored by our friends at letsgetchecked.com. LetsGetChecked.com specializes in at-home blood testing. All you have to do is go to the website, letsgetchecked.com, pick out whatever test that you feel that you need or want to get tested. They have them for men and women, hormonal, wellness, you name it, they probably have it. Order them. They're going to ship them directly to you. All you have to do is get online, register the kit, provide the sample, ship it right back. You're going to get the results quick, right online. They'll notify you. Then there's doctors and nurses there that are also there to help you with any questions or concerns that you might have about your blood work. So check them out. Use coupon code Gemelli30. It's going to save you 30% off your entire order. So let us talk about this. This is a touchy topic sometimes that I find. I've seen some people just get like up in a bunch about things that I've said about this especially, and I just don't understand why. When I tell people or somebody asks me about using oral steroids and they are showing me a layout or asking me or proposing like, I want to run it this way. If you're running an oral steroid aside from Proviron more than 6 weeks, I say cut it. Cut it off. Look, even Anavar, which is mild, but it's mild in comparison to the other oral steroids because they're so damn strong. But let me tell you something, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you Anavar is like this horrible side effect riddled toxic oral steroid, but I assure you, you use Anavar and let's say you don't run any protection with it, or you run it for like 8-10 weeks. After 4 or 5 weeks, you go look at your blood panel, and sometimes even sooner than that, and it's not going to be great, okay? I'm talking not just your liver, and I've covered this. I'm talking your kidneys, for example, your cholesterol, your blood pressure could be up. There's a variety of markers on there where you could see problems. And it's a toxic oral steroid. It's going to provide toxicity within your body, and it's going to affect several different organs, and you're like I said, a lot of markers are going to be off. So don't think because Anavar is mild that it won't do that. But you know, then you start getting into the heavier ones. Even just a T-ball is also, I would categorize a little bit lower in the Anavar range. But then you start getting up into Winstrol, which is highly toxic. Go run Winstrol 5-6 weeks at 50 milligrams a day and tell me how things look, especially with your cholesterol and liver. And if you're not feeling lethargic to the point of not wanting to do anything. So then what do you think happens when you get even stronger with the D-balls, the Anadrols? Or what if you want to go even harsher and go with the Superdrol? You know, something like that. Good Lord. I mean, you don't understand what you're running into with those. Or even halotestin. Or an oral trend. I mean, I can keep naming off things that would just wreck your panels. So, you start running these too long, and it's doing so much damage. And yes, you can recover from it. But think about, like, beating the shit out of your liver over and over and over. Or your kidneys. Or you're jacking up your blood pressure like that constantly. Don't you think, just like anything else in life, that that's going to start to wear on you after a while? You're not just going to keep bouncing back, and it's not just going to keep fixing itself. You can only do it so much. It's not a never-ending thing. You're not fucking Wolverine, okay? You can't just, it's just going to be okay. That's not how it works. So you have to really be mindful of this. So I have a few that I recommend not going any longer than 4 weeks with, and then some that I say, okay, go ahead with 6. The thing about Proviron is not C17 alpha alkylated, which would make it toxic. It is not toxic, and so you're not going to see that kind of problem. You still don't want to run it forever, but there's no problem running it 12 weeks. And I just did a video on using Proviron and PCT that I would recommend to watch as well. That just got published. So the ones that I recommend only go in 4 weeks. D-ball is one, and a lot of D-balls is more so with the estrogen conversion, and it's such the large amounts that you just don't want to run it too long. It is very toxic as well, but in conjunction together like that, 4 weeks is more than enough. Anadrol is another one. I have pushed Anadrol to 6 weeks myself. I just seem to respond to it extremely well, and I just load up on protectants. But I still, with all of that, and as well as I tolerated it in terms of like my blood pressure, lethargy, those types of side effects, my liver markers, even with tons of protection, were like sky high. Okay, so I always tell people stick to 4 weeks with Anadrol. I think halotestin and Superdrol are pretty self-explanatory, but if you are brand new to everything, these are the toxic of the toxics, okay? They will just wreck you in a variety of ways. Prohormones, a lot of them, I would not go any longer than 4 weeks with. There's a few I could see you stretch into 6 weeks, your Epistanes, your Halodrols, but, you know, and I don't remember if people remember PMAG, and then you got like a Ketanadrol that's not, you know, those would be okay to run, which Ketanadrol is just a clone of 11-OXO. So to be clear about that, just like, you know, Beastrol and Ultradrol were kind of Superdrol type clones. They're all very similar, designer steroids. Most of them I would keep to 4 weeks, but if you ever wanted to ask me, what about this one, then yeah, because I'm not going to run on a whole list of prohormones here. I can tell you right now, like an Ultradrol or a Beastrol, those DMZ, M-Stent, those are going to be ones you want to keep to 4 weeks. The Andros, I don't see a problem with 6 weeks on those. But back to the regular, you know, anabolic steroids that we were talking about as well. So I covered the 4 weeks ones. So 6 week ones, I don't have a big issue with Winstrol going 6 weeks, but a lot of you are not going to want to run at 6 weeks. You're going to start feeling pretty bad about week 4.5, 5, especially at the, you know, higher end dose. T-ball 6 weeks, Anavar 6 weeks. Those are generally tolerated pretty well at 6 weeks. If you want to test some of those 4 weekers out for 6 weeks, go for it. But I can tell you that for most, some people are just anomalies and they tolerate things like it's insane. But for most, you know, you start getting past 4 weeks, and like Superdrol, a lot of people, and Halo, a lot of people aren't even going to make it to 4 weeks. Seriously, they're not. A lot of people tap out way earlier than that, and I'm going to do a video on my experiences with Superdrol that will kind of discuss just how hard it was on me too. And there is no shame in that at all, because you don't want to do things that are going to hurt yourself and trying to tough things out that are detrimental to your health. So that's kind of where I'm at with my recommendation on oral steroid use. I know some people, I want to run them as long as I want to run them. You know, that it's your life and it's your choice, and I'm not going to say a word. Like I always tell everybody, and you guys know this, I'm not your fucking dad. You do whatever you want. All I'm trying to do is help you and prevent you from, you know, having all of these problems. Take it or leave it, you know. It is what it is. I just try to do my best, like I always say, to look out for everybody's best interest, and health is your number one best interest. So, that being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.